Hello, smart kids! Welcome to another interesting lesson with Mr. Olio. Now, in this lesson, we'll be looking at method of controlling weeds. Methods of controlling weeds. The first method we are looking at chemical method. What is chemical method? This involves the use of various chemicals called herbicides to get rid of weeds in our environment. Herbicides like your chemicals to get rid of weed in the environment. Now, next we are going to be looking at, we have two types of herbicides. One, we have what's called selective and non-selective herbicide. What's the meaning of selective? Selective herbicide can be used after planting, meaning it will select the weed, not killing the crops in the farmland. It will rather kill the weeds or the grasses in the farmland. Now, non-selective herbicide, they can't select from the name non-selective. That means if you use it after planting, it will kill both your plants or the crops in the farmland. Then you have nothing on the farmland anymore. So you use this non-selective herbicide before planting. Now, next we are going to be looking at the second method, which is biological method. This involves the use of predators or animals to get rid of weeds. For instance, using cattle to graze the land. That is an example. Using your cattle, you can get a cattle to your farmland or a farmland, then they will eat up the grasses. That process of eating up the grasses is known as biological method. You know as what? Biological method. Now, let's look at some other practices of weed control. We can use mulching, crop rotation to get rid of weed. Now you may ask, what is mulching? Mulching simply means the process of making use of dry materials such as your plants, your grasses that are dried. So that is mulching. Now, crop rotation, rotating different crops in each year. That's the meaning of crop rotation. Let's see some facts about the two methods, biological and chemical methods of controlling weed. Some facts about them. That means some advantage, some disadvantage, and how they are used. One, biological method of controlling weeds is the cheapest of all the method, but is less effective. What's the meaning of cheapest? That means it's not expensive. Then less effective, meaning it doesn't have a lot of effect of controlling weed. It doesn't totally get rid of weed in the farmland. So that's the meaning of effective. It doesn't easily or totally get rid of weeds in a farmland, but you can easily get it because animals are all around you. So animals can easily be gotten, then put in a farmland to graze that farmland to get rid of weeds. So that is the meaning of biological method. Like in this fact, now you have advantage and you have a disadvantage. What is the advantage there? It is cheap. Then the disadvantage is what? Is less effective. Let's go to another fact about chemical method. Let's see another fact about chemical method. Chemical method of controlling weed is an expensive method of controlling, but it is very effective. means is expensive. That means it's not easy to come by, but very effective. It gets rid of weeds totally. In a farmland. Let's see some practical questions. Some practical questions on what you have learned so far. Some practical questions on what you've learned so far. So it will be an interesting session now. So let's be attentive and be focused. One question we'll be looking at. Listen and read. Spraying of herbicides on weeds to get rid of them simply means dash method, meaning spraying of herbicides on grasses or weeds to get rid of them simply means what is the method? Who can get it? Can you? Can you? The answer is chemical method. What is it? Chemical method. You got it right. Smart. Chemical method. Now, let's the second question, which is, which of the two methods is more effective? Is it biological method? Is it chemical method? Which is effective? Let's see we get it. Yes, is what? Chemical method. Chemical method. You got it right. That was very smart. So the most effective is what? Chemical method. Now lastly, let's look at the last practical question, which is, which of the two methods is more expensive to use? Which of the two methods is more expensive to use? We have chemical method. Chemical method. You got it right again. So the most expensive method out of both of them, we have what? The chemical method. So those are some lovely practical questions. So okay, let's do a little recap of what we've done so far. I said that we have chemical method of controlling weeds, and chemical method involves spraying of herbicide. Now, biological method involves the use of what? Animals, like your cattle, your sheep, to graze a land. So those are some little facts and little ideas about chemical method and biological method of controlling weeds. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye.